What is up, YouTube? It is your boy NMR Sports here, coming back at you with another MLB video. Today we're going to be talking about my predictions for the World Series winner in 2021. So let me know what you guys think in the comments, or throw your predictions down there. I love talking baseball with you guys as always. Before we get in the video, I do want to mention I am doing a giveaway as well for when we hit 500 YouTube subscribers. So hit that subscribe button, send me proof that you are subscribed, whether that's a DM on Instagram or Twitter or something. Get you guys entered to win a free MLB jersey of your choice. I'm going to be doing 2 of them,
but I'm not done yet.
If we do hit 500 YouTube subscribers by April 16th, that is the night that MLB The Show 21 goes live, I'm going to double the giveaway.
No way!
So we'll be giving away 4 MLB jerseys of your choice. They're going to be off dhgate.com, so it could be any MLB player, it could be a retro player. As long as you can find it on that website, we'll get you hooked up with that. So with that out of the way, all that details will be in the description as well. Let's get right into the video and start talking about these MLB predictions. I'm going to start with the Los Angeles Dodgers, of course, having the most wins in the MLB. Probably 100 plus, I don't know, 103, 110, 117. They'll break the record, dude. I don't even know. They are so good. Their entire lineup's amazing. I don't know, man. I'm not going to spoil anything, but you know, the Dodgers are just damn good. They're obviously going to win their division. They're so stacked at every position. Their bullpen, their pitching, their lineup, even their bench is stacked, and their farm system stacked. So even if some guys aren't producing, the next guy up will take their place. It's ridiculous. So I have the Dodgers winning the National League West. I don't think that's a very hot take. That seems pretty reasonable. However, in the NL East, I think with the second best record in the National League, we're actually going to come out with the New York Mets. Now, I know a lot of people think the Braves are going to win this division, and I haven't really seen any predictions saying otherwise, but me personally, I have the Mets. I just think the Mets are a much deeper team than the Braves are. I think if somebody gets hurt on the Braves, God forbid, like Freddie Freeman or Ronald Acuna Jr., that is a big hole they're going to be missing in their lineup because they have nobody to take their place in the background. Pretty much, their lineup is stacked, amazing, but at the end of the day, like I said, if anybody gets hurt, the best guy on their bench is probably like Jake Lamb, Pablo Sandoval. I don't know. I just looking at this lineup, I really don't like it. I love their rotation. I love their starting lineup, but like I said, they're not very ready to prepared for injury, the Braves are. However, with the New York Mets, obviously they have a fantastic lineup. I think their defense is going to be a lot better than the Braves defense will be. I think their rotation is definitely comparable and possibly could be better once Noah Syndergaard comes back, assuming he's healthy and going on all cylinders. I think they have a better bullpen, and I do think they have a much deeper bench. We saw guys like Luis Guillorme have a 22 pitch at bat. He's definitely a solid guy in the background there. Kevin Pillar, I feel like, isn't their starting center fielder. It's probably going to be Brandon Nimmo, so he's on their bench there. Jose Martinez has been bouncing around a few teams, but he's a very good hitter to have off the bench. One of the best pinch hitters in baseball, actually. Jonathan Villar is kind of a rehab candidate. He could come back and be good as well. Thomas Nido is a very good backup catcher to have. I don't know if it's Nido or Nido. Somebody let me know in the comments. I really don't know. But yeah, at the end of the day, I do like the Mets more. Just I feel like they're more prepared for worst case scenario. Now, the Braves could definitely go out, and if every single person stays healthy, which is almost impossible in a 162 game season, especially with guys like Marcell Ozuna running around in the outfield, he's kind of an injury prone guy. So we're definitely going to have to see if that Braves team can stay healthy. If they do stay healthy, I do think they could win the division, but right now I'm going to go with the New York Mets winning the NL East. Now, as for the NL Central, I think this is a pretty easy one as well, but apparently it's not. I've seen a lot of controversy with this pick, but it's going to be the St. Louis Cardinals. Now, the St. Louis Cardinals might be the most underrated team in baseball. They have a great lineup now, I think. A lot of young talent, a lot of young studs. I agree that it's kind of risky to count on that many young studs, like their entire outfield. Harrison Bader is poised to break out. Tyler O'Neill has a lot of potential. And Dylan Carlson's one of the best prospects in baseball. And he launched a baseball like 600 feet the other day. Nolan Arenado is going to be a huge addition to that lineup. And Paul Goldschmidt, I'd say they might be the best first base, third base combo in all of baseball. Paul DeYoung is still very good. Nolan Gorman's in the minors, so we'll see when he comes up. Tommy Edman is very good as well. So I think they have a very solid lineup. Their bullpen is one of the most underrated in all of baseball. Jordan Hicks is coming back. That man still throws 104 miles per hour. Giovanni Gallegos has been great in their bullpen. Alex Reyes was a former top prospect. Their rotation looks great. Jack Flaherty might be the best pitcher in this division. And honestly, a lot of these guys that you don't really hear about, like Kwon Young Kim, Carlos Martinez, I almost forget he exists sometimes. Just a lot of guys that are very under the radar good teams. So at the end of the day, I do have them winning the NL Central, and it's not really close in my opinion. I do like the Brewers, don't get me wrong. I just think that the Cardinals are a much more complete team than the Milwaukee Brewers are. So those are going to be the division winners in the National League. But of course, we still have the 2 wild card spots. This is assuming they don't go with the expanded playoff format, which is kind of stupid, and I really didn't like it last year. With that being said, with the 2 wildcard teams, it's pretty obvious. The clear 2 favorites to be the wildcard teams are the San Diego Padres and the Atlanta Braves. Now, the San Diego Padres in any other year would probably be the favorite, and any other division in baseball would clearly be the favorite to win the division. But in any other year, they would probably be the favorite to win the World Series. But unfortunately, the Dodgers are just an absolute super team. They're kind of like the Warriors were in basketball a few years ago. I don't even know shit about basketball, but I know they were absolutely lights out. That's kind of what the Dodgers are. The Padres did try their best this offseason, and I really like their team. They're going to be very exciting to watch, but I don't think they have what it takes to win that division, so I'm going to have them slide into a wild card spot. I also have the Braves making it. Like I said, I love their lineup, but I'm just scared that they might stumble a little bit if somebody goes down with an injury. The lack of depth always scares me there, and their bullpen isn't as good as it was last year, so even though they were 1 game away from making the World Series last year, I do have them sliding in as a wild card team here, and we'll get into my predictions in that. But first, let's go over to the American League and talk about the division winners there and who's going to be making the playoffs. Now, the team that I honestly think is going to win the most games in the American League is going to be my new favorite team, the Chicago White Sox. The Chicago White Sox, I do have winning triple-digit games. Take it to the bank. The White Sox will win 100+ games this year. They have an amazing roster. They have so much young talent that's only going to get better this year. That was already good last year. Eloy Jimenez is one of the strongest players in all of baseball. Jose Abreu won the MVP last year. Tim Anderson is one of the better shortstops in baseball. He's not one of the top 5, but he's a very good shortstop. Andrew Vaughn is going to be their starting DH this year, and he could have some big things for him. They are going to have a stable of guys in the bullpen there with Michael Kopech starting out in the bullpen. I believe they still have Cody Hewer. They also have Garrett Crochet, who was throwing like 112 miles per hour last year. They also have, Aaron Bummer, who was a stud for them last year. Honestly, I don't know. Oh, they signed Liam Hendricks. How could I forget? The best closer in baseball the last year. Yeah, this is going to be a damn good squad. Lucas Giolito has Cy Young potential. Lance Lynn is a very good veteran to add to that that rotation there. I love the White Sox. I love everything about them. I didn't even mention Luis Robert, who had comparisons to Mike Trout. We're not going to talk about that until he puts up those kind of numbers, but my God, is this team going to be exciting next year. I'll stop talking about them for now. When we stop talking about the Chicago White Sox, I got to head over to the second best team in the American League, probably the best team, the more established team in the American League. That is the New York Yankees, who will also probably be on the cusp of winning triple-digit games this year, assuming that they can stay healthy. Healthy Aaron Judge to start the season. That is a big thing that they haven't had for a while. Healthy Giancarlo Stanton to start the season. That's another big thing that they haven't had for a bit. Obviously, DJ LeMahieu's been an MVP candidate the last 2 years. Luke Voit was an MVP candidate last year. Gleyber Torres has a shit ton of potential. Sorry, pardon my French. Aaron Hicks, Clint Frazier. I could just go on and on. Gary Sanchez. Aaron Judge apparently thinks that Gary Sanchez could win an MVP this year. Their rotation is great with Garrett Cole. I love the Corey Kluber signing. I'm not a huge fan of the Jameson Taillon signing, but a lot of people are, so he's probably going to be really good for them. Luis Severino coming back. I'm a big Luis Severino guy, and they have a lot of young talent on that team that's also going to be coming up. Domingo Germán has had some issues with some off-the-field stuff, but he's potentially a really good pitcher to have in that rotation as well. And I know I'm forgetting some guys, but y'all let me know in the comments. Yankees fans, you're really loud. I know you'll let me know. You also have that great bullpen, and you added Darren O'Day. Now, if you were to tell the Orioles in 2015 that you would have Darren O'Day and Zach Britton both on the Yankees with Aroldis Chapman also being in that bullpen, would have blown some minds out there. I believe you still have Chad Green. Honestly, after that, I can't really think of it, but, 4 very, very, very solid closer potential guys in that bullpen is going to be really good for you guys. So Yankees definitely could win 100+ games. I also have the Oakland A's winning the American League West. Now, the Oakland A's are one of the surprising teams in this in the American League. I really like their lineup. I love the addition of Mitch Moreland. I think he's a very underrated sleeper candidate to not like win an MVP or anything, but he could definitely make an all-star team in that lineup. They're mostly right-handed teams, so they're really not going to see a lot of left-handed pitching. Between him and Matt Olson, they're pretty much the only 2 lefties they're going to have to face. So we're going to see how that lineup's constructed. I'd say probably Matt Olson would chill in the 3 or 4 hole, and then maybe have Mitch Moreland in the 5 or 6 kind of area. But I do think he's going to see a lot of at-bats versus right-handed pitching, and that's always been a good thing for Mitch Moreland. Their bullpen's going to be amazing this year. Trevor Rosenthal, Jake Diekman are absolutely 2 amazing studs in that bullpen. And I think it's going to be a very interesting year for the Oakland Athletics. And they also have some good guys like Jesus Luzardo, who's finally going to have a full season on the mound. A young prospect who hasn't really panned out yet. But him, Sean Manaea has been pretty good in the past, and Chris Bassett was really good last year. So they have a lot of guys with good potential. I'm a big fan of the A's, and they always find a way to surprise us every single year. Now, with that being said, I do have my American League wildcard picks here, and they're actually both going to be coming from the American League East. Now, that's right. That means the Astros, the Angels, and the Twins I don't have making the playoffs. Who I do have making the playoffs, though, is going to be the Blue Jays and the Tampa Bay Rays. Now, 2 Florida teams this year because the Blue Jays are going to be playing in Florida. I really like the Blue Jays. They have one of the better lineups in all baseball. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is generating a lot of hype this offseason. Bo Bichette playing a full 162-game season would be something for just an amazing sight to see. They signed Marcus Semien this offseason. Kevin Biggio's still a stud. Everyone's on the Alejandro Kirk bandwagon. Alejandro Kirk for MVP. Their outfield is stacked. They have 4 really good outfielders. Obviously, they signed George Springer. They have Teoscar Hernandez. They have Randall Grichuk and Lourdes Gurriel Jr. So their lineup is stacked. I do agree the rotation has some issues with it, but Hyun-Jin Ryu is definitely a big ace for them. I think Nate Pearson could carry that number 2 spot, and then we'll just have to see. Tanner Roark has been a little shaky the last few years. Robbie Ray has had good years in the past. We'll have to see there, and I do like the signing of Kirby Yates for their bullpen to be a really good lockdown closer for them in the back. Then we also have the Tampa Bay Rays. I do think they're going to make it to the playoffs again this year. They'll find a way. Motherfucker named Randy is going to be back. I'm a big fan of his. Honestly, their lineup's a lot better than we give it credit for. Allegedly, Wander Franco could be making his way up to the big leagues. Former number 1 ranked prospect. He could be absolutely amazing for them. Brandon Lau was really good for them last year. Austin Meadows has played a lot better than what he's shown last year, so he could be really good. Mike Zunino has some power at the end of their lineup. Michael Brasso was pretty good last year. Joey Wendell's out there. They have a lot of different guys. Willie Adames, I'm just thinking of names. So I think the Rays will find a way to slide into that playoff spot. They still have a great bullpen and a solid rotation. They brought back a lot of old guys that I feel like they can rehab, and they brought in some young talent with Luis Patino, and then Tyler Glasnow has been working on some stuff in spring training. So I do like the Rays to make the playoffs as well as that second wildcard spot. Now let's get into who is going to win these playoff series and who's going to make it all the way to the World Series. We're just going to kind of breeze through these ones so we can get into our projections, but let's talk about the World Series winner. Now the first playoff matchup we're going to have is the NL wildcard. That's going to be Padres versus Braves. I'm going to have the Padres winning that one. I don't think the Braves actually match up super well with the Padres. The Padres really have a lot of chemistry going in that locker room, and that's what I really like with them. Obviously, the Braves have been very good offensively. Between Snell, Lamet, Darvish, I'm sure they could find a way, even if they have to go 1-1, kind of like the Nationals did back then, going with Max Scherzer, Steven Strasburg, Patrick Corbin, using all those starters in combination with each other, as opposed to the Braves. I don't know. It's definitely going to be a close game. It's kind of a coin flip between the two, but I am going to take the Padres over the Braves, meaning that the Padres will end up playing the first place Dodgers in the National League Division Series, and I think that's a pretty easy win for the Dodgers. Not easy is definitely not the word to say for it. Probably could go 5 games, but I do have the Dodgers over the Padres, and that means the Mets are going to be playing the St. Louis Cardinals in the division series, and I think the Mets are a much better team than the Cardinals. I did say the Cardinals are very underrated, but I don't think they are quite as good as the Mets. The Mets are a very properly rated team, as one of the best in baseball. So I do have the Mets advancing to the National League Championship Series, so it'll be Mets versus Dodgers in the NLCS, and then going to the World Series, it's really hard to go against the Los Angeles Dodgers. So I am going to have the Los Angeles Dodgers over the New York Mets in the National League Championship Series. Going to the World Series, the Dodgers will be. They're just too good. They're so complete. Definitely the Mets can hang their hat on that season. There's just no beating the Dodgers. I'm sorry. Anyways, now with the American League, we have the wild card game being the Blue Jays versus the Rays, and I do have the Rays going out over the Blue Jays. I think the Rays will find a way to make some more magic here, whether that's Tyler Glasnow going out and dominating, maybe Chris Archer comes back and finds a way to do it, Luis Patino could do it, I don't know. They'll find a way to dominate there and maybe put up like 3 or 4 runs on the back end. And the Blue Jays, I just don't think have the pitching to make it past that wild card game, although I do love their lineup there. That means the Tampa Bay Rays will be playing the Chicago White Sox in the first round, of course. The White Sox being the 1 seed and the Rays being the 4 seed, and I think that's a little bit better of a series than it would have been White Sox versus Blue Jays. but I do think the White Sox will pull ahead there, maybe as a 3-2 victory or maybe a 3-1 victory. I do think the Rays will get a few good hits in there, but I do think that the White Sox will make it up to the ALCS, and that leaves the Yankees versus A's, and I think that's a pretty clean sweep for the Yankees. I don't think the A's have what it takes to compete with those two teams, and the White Sox and the Yankees. So even if they match up with either one of those guys, I feel like it's kind of a sweep for that team. So unfortunately, the A's are not going to be making it to the American League Championship Series. Sorry, A's fans. Great team, just not good enough to make it over that hump. That means the White Sox and Yankees. Now, this will be one of the most exciting playoff series of our generation. I absolutely love both of these teams. You have the young talent versus the established superstars in the Yankees, and I think that's going to be an absolute matchup for the ages. At the end of the day, though, I think the Yankees have a better starting rotation when it comes to the playoffs. If they have Garrett Cole, either Kluber or Tyone pans out, and then you have Luis Severino coming back, I think that's a great playoff rotation to have. A little bit better than what the White Sox would be rolling out with Giolito, Keuchel, and Lance Lynn. So I do have the Yankees beating the White Sox in the American League Championship Series, meaning it is going to be Dodgers-Yankees World Series, which would be absolutely insane. Probably the craziest World Series that I've ever seen in my lifetime. Dodgers-Yankees, of course, being two of the biggest franchise, if not the top two franchise in all of baseball, I think, when you go by attendance and fan base. Super loyal fan bases, super crazy fan bases. Definitely going to be some fights in the parking lot there. Now, it's a pretty interesting series. I think this could honestly go either way. Obviously, the Dodgers have a better roster. They have a better lineup. They have a better rotation. They have a better bullpen. Actually, I don't know if I'd say they have a better bullpen, but they have better everything else, that's for sure. Honestly, I'm going to have to give it to the Los Angeles Dodgers, but it'll be a lot closer than people think. I do think that the Yankees will definitely stand a chance in that playoff, or that best of 7 series. Maybe take it to 6 or 7 games, kind of like it was last year with the Rays. But yeah, I do have the Dodgers winning the World Series. It's really hard to go against this team. I think their 8th best starter on the Dodgers is good enough to be a number 1 starter on some bad teams like the Angels. That's tough for them. They have an amazing lineup 1 through 9. They have a great bench. They're one of the deepest teams in all of baseball, and they have a solid bullpen with a lot of young arms, kind of like the White Sox we talked about, guys who can throw 100 like Brusdar Graterol. Kenley Jansen's amazing. They have other guys there, Blake Trinan. Overall, I think the Dodgers will beat the Yankees in the World Series in 2021. So Yankees, you finally did make it back to a World Series. You just didn't win one. But hey, we'll take it. It's the first time in over 10 years. Congratulations to Yankees fans. So my predictions there, Dodgers-Yankees World Series, Dodgers winning the World Series. So those are going to be it for today, guys. My World Series winner, once again, the Los Angeles Dodgers will be winning the World Series. Not really the hottest take of all time, but I do absolutely love that Dodger squad. If the Dodgers don't win the World Series, that'll be absolutely embarrassing, bro. It'll be absolutely embarrassing if they don't. They have the best rotation in baseball. They have the best lineup in baseball. They have literally the best roster in baseball, and it's not close. So, yeah, the Los Angeles Dodgers winning the 2021 World Series. Sorry it's not that hot of a take. But thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you. I am out of breath for making this video. Hopefully it's not too long for you guys, but I appreciate all of you who stuck around for the end of the video. Be sure to enter my giveaway. Let me know that you are subscribed. Hit that red button below if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys in the next video.